Chosen Vessels, what's the deal? It's your main man, Druuill, and I'm back at you again with another video. I need each and every vessel to hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. Shout out to the Galactic family, the GCVs, and of course, Drew Nation. Let's get right into it. You don't even see them, though they're doing the most, because without your acknowledgement, they don't exist. Anybody been fighting for your attention lately? The answer is probably yes. What I find that really works and that helps keep my mind at ease so that I don't get angry, so that I don't get upset over the games and the harassment, is to act like it doesn't exist. It's the best thing to do, all right, instead of spending time trying to figure it out or make sense of it. It's best to just get back to our life, all right? It's best to get back to creating and living a positive life. If you let these people, they'll turn you into a paranoid, negative person. But that's the name of the game. The name of the game is to turn you into someone that you're not. You're probably a very peaceful, kind, cool, creative, highly sophisticated individual, and they want to knock you down to the least representable version of yourself. They don't want you to be able to have a life that someone would want, because you already do have a life that someone would want, and they want to destroy that. But if you don't allow the things that they do to take up space in your mind, it's going to be a lot easier for you to move forward. Sometimes it's easy to stay stuck in the past because of something that happened. And it may be something that you become fixated with. All right. It's nothing to fixate over. It's something to ignore, acknowledge that it happened, ignore it, and get it out the way. Um, we know by now that we don't have control over the actions of others, but what we do have control over is how we direct our mind and our thoughts. So when people are doing their acts of wickedness around you to either get your attention or try to get you to focus on them, it's best to just let them do what they do. Is because we have absolutely zero control over what they do anyway. They want to control your life and have you upset, have you stuck in a complaint mode where you're always complaining about what they're doing. And they want you to lose friends, family members, loved ones, because people just don't believe what you're going through. And it's hard for people to understand. It's hard for people to understand this type of behavior. It doesn't make sense to people that don't do it or don't experience it, and trying to make other people experience what you're going through or put on the glasses. I guess that's a term that maybe came from They Live. I'm not sure, but like after that movie came out, because I mean it's a fight to make people put on the glasses. If you've seen the movie They Live, that those two dudes fought almost for a good part of that movie. A good part of that movie was them just fighting and him trying to get the other guy to see what he saw, and trying to get others to see what you see as somebody that's going through something is not always the right idea, especially when it's hardly believed or it's hard to be proved. It could waste a lot of your precious time, and that's what these evil sons of guns want. All right, they want to waste your time and they want you to waste your time. They want your life to become one big game to where you're consumed and concerned only about what they're doing and when they're going to do it next. So it's very powerful for you to move on and for you to focus on different things so that way you can live your life. All right. When you get around other people, don't try to bombard them with your experience or what you're going through, because that could run people off. That could chase people away. When you get around people, instead, enjoy their company. Focus on the good quality, the good attributes of a person, the good aspects of a person. Somebody's good characteristics, their good personality traits. All right. When you get around your family, enjoy spending time with them. Enjoy the moment. Really focus on having a good time. That's a time for you to let go. That's a time for it. It should be a time for you to let go. It should be a time for you to unwind. All right. And it should be a time for you to just cool out and chill and not have to worry about all the negative things that you have to go through on a daily basis with stalkers. All right. So the more you can just go with the flow of life and allow people to behave the way they want to, and not be affected by how these people choose to behave, is really going to be doing them a huge disservice, because you could potentially give them enough space to try to do their dirty works that they end up getting caught. They end up leaving a trail. They end up exposing themselves, because if a person is trying to do something and trying so hard to get you to be aware of them, while also trying to cause you some type of harm in the midst of that, someone is going to be able to see what they're doing. Someone's going to end up coming to you and pointing out, don't you see that this person is always trying to get your attention in some kind of way? That's like low key borderline harassment. Don't you see what this person is doing? And then you could be like, oh well, it never bothered me, or that is that's the worst thing that could possibly be done to a person that's trying to cause you harm. And I know they got some shows on this or some type of cartoon on this. Somebody commented in the comment section. I know they have a cartoon like this, and I would say it's like, the one example that popped into my mind is a Tom versus Jerry, or a Wile E. Coyote, or the chase never stops, but the Tom or the Wile E. Coyote, they're never really seem to be bothered. They're just like on to the next skit, on to the next scene. The mice has got to get its cheese, or it's got to get back to its home, or it's got to get its snack or whatever, or it's got to get away from Tom, and then it's back to living its life. All right. You don't escape these people or get away from these people, and then only to be bothering only to be bothered by their past activities in your mind. But it does take time to acquire this mental state to be able to let go of things that bother you, because some of us have been programmed to hold on to these things, or have just not known how to deal with these type of issues or this type of behavior in the past. And it may have been something that you held on to or dealt with incorrectly, and years of dealing with something in an incorrect way creates a habit. So now, not only are you being affected by somebody's negative behavior, but you're continuously going over it in your mind, which is causing you to aim your thoughts and your energy towards more negativity, instead of putting it towards things that you like, things that you should be focusing on, things that can help you grow, things that could potentially better yourself and your life, instead of focusing on the negative behavior of others. All right. You should only be focused on them as far as trying to let the situation go and move on. All right, it shouldn't be something that you make a whole something that you make a big deal out of. But that comes over time because you're trying to figure things out. All right, you want to know. It's normal for the human mind to want to know what's going on around it, and that's why I tell you you're divine, because at some point you have to raise your level of awareness to a state to where you're aware of it, but you don't care for it. You're not worried. You're not worrying about it. See, there's a difference to being aware that something is happening versus being being worried over it. All right, and a lot of wise people are aware that these things are happening, but they play dumb. They play stupid, and that's what you should do. All right, I'm not one for advocating ignorance, but in terms of these people, the best thing you could do is be ignorant. The best thing you could do is just be dumb. Act like they don't even exist. Play stupid. Play dead if you have to. All right, because the more that they're going to have to work, the harder that they're going to have to work. It's going to take more of their time and energy. And maybe they got some, who knows, maybe they got some other targets. They say they have lists, right? So maybe you're on a list of people that, maybe they don't have enough time for you, because these situations, they happen. And then these people, after they perform their evil deed or their old rotten stank act of behavior, they dip off and they go somewhere else. And then you might potentially be stuck with the anger or the negativity as a result of what they chose to do to you. So rather than be upset over what someone did because they cut in front of you, or they said something, or whatever they did, or they behaved in a way, or maybe it was something they tried to do so that you would experience some negativity or some anger throughout your day, it's best to act like what these people are doing is not even on your radar, because it will allow you to keep your peace. You get angry trying to figure out things that don't make sense, and try to make sense of things you shouldn't be trying to figure out. Demons and devils are going to behave like demons and devils. It's really no more to be figured out. All right, they're evil. They behave this way. They choose to perform acts of stalking and harassment to tickle their fancy, or to make their day, or to fill their evil quotas. All right, and some of these people are either on lists themselves because they're being blackmailed, or they have spirits on them. They're completely taken over by a parasite, or some of them are just maybe deranged, delusional. Maybe they're a ex stalker or something. Maybe it's an ex employee, an ex lover, whoever it might be. Maybe this person just has a personal vendetta against you. Maybe you took the number one title from them, or maybe you got a job that they wanted. All right, a lot of people from your past that have issues with you, sometimes you don't even know that you've done them some type of harm, but they've turned it into a lifelong revenge kind of thing. And you see these things in TV shows where it's some crazy person that hasn't let go of a situation, and now they're like what you call it, like Fairly Odd Parents with the teacher was going to prove that fairies were real. All right, and that works both ways. All right, they can become obsessed like that, but you don't become obsessed like that. I know these things are happening to us, and I know we're experiencing these type of behavior, and it's good to spread awareness, but don't get caught up on trying to prove to those around you that it's happening. Because if you remember, and you probably weren't experiencing any stalking around this time if you're from the generation that I'm in. But if you can attest to TV, you probably are aware of TV shows that you saw when you were younger, where someone on the show was seen as nuts or a lunatic, probably because they were trying to constantly prove something, and you don't want to come off like that. Look at the Mr. Crocker on Fairly Odd Parents, or if you've seen King of the Hill, you got Dale. All right, you don't want to be a, not that you care or give a care, but you don't want to be seen to the people that you care about or you want in your life as someone like a Dale or Mr. Crockett. And I know you still don't care, but you should, just for the sake of wanting to keep them around, because you don't want to be dumping what you're going through on somebody else. All right, and I and It's not a positive thing to do. All right, if it's helping someone, that's good. It's positive. Get your point across. But if it's not helping anyone and you're just trying to prove something to someone, don't allow the negative behavior of these people to put you into some mental state to where you're constantly trying to prove that they're real. All right, they're not that important. Yes, they're real, but they're really not that important. All right, so your life is really that important. Your life is more important than these people. The best thing you could do for yourself, the best thing you could do for your mental health, might hear some fireworks in the background. All right, the best thing you could do for your mental health is to just let these things go. And by not holding on to resentment, by not continuing to replay the same story in your head, and also by doing some mental jiu-jitsu and just ignoring these people. Somebody could walk right past you, and what you have to do is pretend what they're doing didn't just happen. That's the best thing to do. Pretend it didn't even happen, and that's going to allow you to ignore them. That's really what ignoring people is. Or some people say to do something without giving some explanation on what to do it. And if it's not a dictionary handy, or in a generation where you don't just have a phone in your pocket where you could pick something up, not that they didn't try to help you. You may just not understood what they were trying to say. Somebody may tell you to ignore someone. You like, I don't know what the heck that means. What are you talking about? Without, like, you, if someone says something to you, you may have to, and you don't understand, make sure you ask them to explain it. All right, closed mouths don't get fed, but you may not have known at that time. You may have just been trying to deal with that situation. But ignoring people is pretending like they don't even exist. All right, ignoring people is pretending like they're not even there. So as harsh as these attacks may be at times, the better you get at ignoring them, the more that they're going to have to do to try to get your attention. Because when you ignore them, when you ignore a person, they act that they believe that you didn't even see them. When you ignore someone, they act like they feel that you're not aware of their existence. So if you're not aware of a person's existence because you didn't acknowledge their existence or acknowledge their behavior or acknowledge the attack, then this person is going to what? Feel like they're not even there. They're going to feel like their presence isn't on your radar. They're going to feel like they're not important. And these are things that are going to burn them up inside. These are things that are going to make them try to go full blown with the attack, try to make them go all out with the attack. All right, like they're not even going to be. And here's the thing: when they have to go all out with these attacks, and you still act like you don't care, what's going to happen? They're going to get upset. What happens when a person gets upset? They don't think clearly. They're not going to be able to think clearly. The more you're able to ignore them, they're going to end up slipping and falling. They're going to end up falling in their own trap because of their own anger and their own animosity and their own jealousy is going to end up eating them alive, because the more you ignore them, the less they're going to be able to get their anger out onto you. Whether it's a spirit, whether it's an envious person, whether it's a COINTELPRO organization, spy, whoever it might be. If you're unaffected, and if you pretend that you're unaffected by what they're doing, it's like they're doing it for no reason. People don't like to do things for no reason. That's called wasting their time. People don't like their time wasted. They want to be evil, affect you in a negative way, and then leave it at that. That's what they want to do. But the fact that you're going to ignore them and pretend that it is not bothering you, that's going to drive them crazy. See, your reverse Uno card strategy, once again, they want to try to drive you crazy. So the best thing you could do is ignore all their efforts. Whether you gotta bite your lip, whether you gotta form a fist, whatever you have to do to not show them that you feel some type of way about what they did. They're going to be the ones to end up making a mistake if they get frustrated enough. When they get upset enough and they get mad enough, then they're bound to make a mistake. They're going to screw up somehow, and when they screw up, they could end up getting themselves in trouble. And that's a win for who? A win for you. without what? Without even having to do anything. And that's why God wants you to let him fight the battle for you. Because when you let God fight the battle for you, the devil's always going to hang himself. The devil's always going to fall in his own trap. And God's going to let it happen. God's going to allow it to happen. All you have to do is focus on the things that matter to you, all right, which is your peace, your finances, health. And there's nothing healthier than a person that chooses to not get upset or stressed over things. That person is relaxed. That person is at more having more peace in their life than the average person, especially people who are targeted or who are dealing with this type of negativity or these kinds of evils, because this stuff is detrimental to a person's psyche. And this is psychological warfare. They want to attack your mind from within. And after they do these attacks, they let you attack yourself. So the best way to not be bothered by them and to put their plan into motion in your life for them, basically doing their job for them, is to just let stuff go and to pretend that they're not even there. And it takes a lot of effort to do this, but once you achieve this, it will serve you greatly, because you'll be able to keep jobs. You'll be able to have peace in your environments. Yes, you still might want to find another job. You still might want to relocate and move to a new area. But guess what? You'll be able to work and have the money and the finances to do it. Because why? You won't have to keep going from job to job as bad as you would have previously if you were still getting upset, getting angry, allowing people to affect you in a bad way. These are things they want to have control over. They want to have control over you as a person and be able to push your buttons to ruin your life and to mess your life up with their attacks. All right. But you don't even see them. That's the beauty of it. With this strategy, you don't even see them. You see them, but you don't care. All right. And it used to bother me because I would literally try to act like I didn't see them. You don't have to act like you don't see them, but you just act like you don't see them. You obviously see them. You can't help not but see people. But the thing is, you play a game to where they don't even exist in your own mind. You see them, whatever. You keep it moving. You don't allow yourself to be bothered by what they're doing, and it's pretty much you're just ignoring them. You're pretending they don't exist. You're pretending to be unaware of their existence, their behavior, whatever negativity they want to bring into your life at that moment in time. Whatever they try to do, you're pretending it doesn't exist. All right, the other day I went to go take care of something, and somebody was watching me so close that they went to go do it the same time as me. And as ignorant as that was, I let it go. And I acted like it didn't even exist. Was I upset? Absolutely. Was I angry? Yes. But the fact that I didn't allow the stress to enter me by pretending it didn't happen and just, telling myself I'm just going to go back and focus on what I was doing and keep myself occupied and busy with that, eliminated that person's whole attack on me. Because people will do things to try to get you in a funk. And when they do these things repeatedly over time, it makes you feel some type of way about it. It makes you feel some type of way about it when people do things that you can't stop. If we all have to do something at the same time and only one person can do it, somebody's going to have to wait. So if you have to wait, make sure you just be patient. Find something else better to do. Be able to find a way to do something or get something else done. That's not the only thing that you have to do. You have to be open-minded, and you have to think big and think of the bigger picture. The bigger picture is accomplishing your goals for the day. Don't get upset or bent out of shape or distracted by the devil because you can't accomplish one particular goal. There's always something for you to do. If somebody is going to use something that you need to use, and they're doing it on purpose the same time as you, what do? You go find something else to do. You don't allow them to stop you from living your life. That's the whole moral of the story, folks. Not allowing these cowards to stop us from living our life because they're miserable and they're full of demons and hate and everything bad to go along with that. And not to mention they're full of some BS too. All right. But without your acknowledgement, they don't even exist. When you acknowledge them, it gives them power. Not only power, but your power. It gives them your God given power over your own life. You have a right to peace. You have a right to be happy, to be joyful. And you don't want them to steal your joy, because when they steal your joy, they steal your strength. Your happiness is your strength. When you're in a positive mood and a positive mind state, your immune system is stronger, fighting off antibodies and pathogens and diseases and sicknesses, keeping you strong. All right, your serotonin levels are boosted. You're more liable to be a better person, a good person with a positive attitude. People are going to want to be around you more. They want to try to turn you into someone that nobody would want to be around, push you in a corner, have you thinking thinking that you need to watch your back every corner. But that's what they create for people that they target. So the best thing to do is always bring yourself back to a mental state to where these activities weren't happening. So that way you could create the feeling of peace. You could create the feeling of protection, of serenity, of joy. Even though these things may still be occurring, you're not paying them any mind. And if you're not, and if you're not paying it any mind, then it's pretty much, it really doesn't exist. If you're not acknowledging it, you're not giving it power. Things that you don't give power to fade away. Just like little Nicky, when his brothers went through the opposite side of the gate, they took power away. When you take power away, people's things, that whatever has its power taken away from it starts to fade. Whether it's energy, whether it's attention, whether it's whatever it is, it's going to fade. Their power is going to fade. When you take your attention away from them, you don't feed them your precious energy. All right, they're not going to be able to eat off of you. They're going to get tired. They're going to get bored. They're going to be the ones exerting a lot of energy, and they're going to be the ones wasting their time and potentially getting themselves into trouble. Somebody may end up catching them or seeing them. Somebody may end up even calling the cops on them for you. There's this person behaving real strangely around someone that's not even bothering them. You'll never know how God works or the universe works. Both they work in mysterious ways simultaneously. All right, they're both really a part of the same system. The universe is God's system. So you don't even see these people. All right, you don't even see them. They could be right here with it. You don't even see them. That's going to keep you unaffected by it. All right. Always be aware of what's happening around you, but don't let these people see you sweat. I finally know what that means, because when people can see what they do to you and how it affects you, they're going to keep doing it. And that's why it's good to pretend this stuff doesn't exist. They're not going to know how to come at you. They're not going to know what bothers you, because what they're trying to do is figure you out. What makes you tick? How can we get underneath their skin and cause problems in their life? There's people who are filled with that much hate that have nothing but time on their hands. All right, so you don't. But the thing is, we don't even see these people. We're going to focus on living our life and enjoying it and having fun around people, and not focusing on what others did to us in the past, even if that was 5 minutes ago. We're on to the next one. You have to constantly be putting your mind on something else. And it'll take a while for you to train your mind to do it. So I'm still doing it myself, but it's a technique. It's a technique that works, because I see the growth in me with it, and I know you all do too. All right, I feel the growth. All right, and I see the growth in the people in the comments as well. All right, everybody that is getting help from these videos. All right, because they help me too. So that's pretty much it for this one. All right. They're doing the most. All right. They're doing the most. But the thing is, you have to do the least. All right. Let them do the most and you do the least. We got it. We got it easy. So you'll see how God works. They do the most, we do the least. You do the least, let them do the most. And keep doing the least. Keep doing the smallest. Give the smallest amount of a that you possibly can. All right. Amen. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Smash the like button, smash the share button, and don't forget to subscribe. Shout out to the Galactic family, the GCVs, and of course, Druuill Nation. I'll see you in the next video. Peace, love, and light. We out.